first of all, I just want to say it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And
I've never met you before.
And I know, and I've always wanted to meet you. And
have you ever wanted to meet Davey?
I was about to say I was always wanting to meet Davey also, and now I feel like a human Oreo with you, handsome.
I've always wanted to meet you.
I like you guys' music, and I was wondering if we could be friends one day.
I feel like one day we can be.
I'm gonna take that as a yes and a possible maybe, and all.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. Have you ever seen the Key and Peele episode? Do you trust me? No. I'll take that as a yes.
Well, I don't know those guys. Are those people on TV like yourself, like a television personality?
They're folks on the TV.
So that's just they're funny guys, right?
Yeah, two of them. Yeah.
They make me laugh already. I think that's just great. Two guys on TV, you know,
making people laugh.
Davey, like it. Do you want to be on TV? Yeah. You guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
We haven't met before, and I was just for hamming it up for the camera. He's a lifelong old-time buddy of mine. Big love.
I love these guys very much. I love you.
Both of these guys, two of my finest homies in the rock and roll industry. All right. Where did you grow up, and what kind of kid were you? Although I already know these answers, I want you to embellish, and I can either laugh or correct you.
Right. I was born and grew up for part of my life in Greenville, South Carolina, and then I moved to Palm Springs when I was 7. And I suppose I was an interesting kid because I came from like the South, being very pampered, and moved to Southern California at the height of the punk rock movement. So it made me weird.
It just made you weird.
Just made me weird.
What about when you were a kid? Did you have correctional vision specs?
These glasses. That's so funny you should ask that.
I'm just imagining Jesse Hughes with red prescription sunglasses on. That was kind of unheard of back then. And did you rock that back then? Did you have the colored shades?
I had a pair of colored shades, but not prescription. Just one pair, and they were more like Beatle glasses. But we couldn't really afford glasses. It wasn't until I was in 10th grade that my mom could actually send me to an eye doctor, and I got the glasses.
Actual stigmatism or something.
And then I realized it's never too dark to be cool, so sunglasses all the time.
And that's why you went with an orange or a pink or a red, so you could actually see at night. Not like the other guys that think they're just super seeing things.
I can actually enhance my vision with these.
What's the first song or album that made an impact on you? What's that made a very first album and song? You're like you just fucking hit you like a ton of bricks.
What was it for you, David?
I think it was Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels version of Sock It To Me.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a bastard one too, because that's going to trump mine. Mine was King of the Nighttime World by Kiss.
No, that's a good one.
That was also my first record and my first show.
That's pretty evil.
King of the Nighttime World.
What was your first show?
Chicago Transit Authority.
Really?
I'm old.
Wow, I've never heard of them.
I'm old.
You know Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. What they called the Transit Authority back then?
Yeah, the first 2 albums.
Damn. They actually became the Transit Authority when they retired. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be
the Metro, the Chicago Metro.
Yeah, it used to be a band.
Yeah.
Now it's a subway.
Now it's just a subway. My first show was made a big impact on me was ZZ Top. Just saying, 1984.
Oh, right.
Anyways,
84, huh?
My first show, ZZ Top, 1984 Eliminator tour.
Did they have an opener?
Sammy Hagar.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So technically, Sammy Hagar was my first show.
Right, yeah. Because he came up first.
All right, who was the first rock star you looked up to and said, I want to be him?
James Brown, and maybe a tie between James Brown and George Clinton. George Clinton had the biggest impact on me trying to actually emulate him. In the mid-90s, by the time I was like in my 20s, I already started to grow out the George Clinton clones of Dr. Funkenstein beard with the 2 points. And I took a lot of my savings and followed Parliament around for almost 47 shows on the Mothership Reunion Tour.
Wow.
And I wanted to be George Clinton. I still want to be George Clinton.
What year was that?
That was 1992.
You were, let me just say how old you were, because I think I'm going to guess the right answer here. In 1992, you were 19 years old, or 20.
Both.
So was I was not, but
you were right. I was both 19 and 20.
I was hoping that I was. Did you come from a musical family, or did you?
I did.
So did I.
Oh, well, that explains everything right there, pretty much, between both of you guys. I'm just going to move right along here.
Moving right along.
What made you want to make a career out of music?
The money.
Both of you guys.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You don't have to really specify how much sex, what kind of drugs, how many drugs. It's
all
what made you get
encompassing.
started in it. Okay, all right, let's moving right along here. What,
kept me
tell
alive.
us, and thank God for those.
Because even the worst blowjob's still amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had a bad blowjob.
And in the dark, everyone looks like Maureen O'Hara.
All right, tell us about you growing up with lifelong friend Josh Homme, and how did you guys become friends?
Well, he was the only other redhead, and my story of getting to know Joshua was different than Davey's, even though I first met Davey through Joshua on the very first Queen show.
Yeah.
It was one of the best days of my life because I met that motherfucker.
Yeah.
But
mine too.
I moved to California in 1979, and I got picked on a lot. And Joshua had this weird sort of concept. He just had a sense of justice. People didn't pick on the bullies.
Well, he was a really big guy back then.
Yeah,
too,
but
right?
he wasn't a bully. He was the dude that if a bully was fucking with you and Josh would turn the corner, he'd go, "Oh, just telling my friend Brent here, and what a great day he has. All right, I'm out of here. I'll leave you guys." Like, they'd bail. They wouldn't do it. So like a grouper fish, I stayed close. And we realized that we were the two only kids in the entire school that liked a TV show called Faulty Towers.
Oh, I love Faulty Towers. It's about a hotel. John Cleese,
yeah.
Big fan.
And it's a great show. And then from there, it just went forward. Whenever I had a question about something, I've always been able to trust him and his advice.
So basically, you guys became friends over the show Faulty Towers.
Over the show Faulty Towers.
Just kind of talking at school and, you know, and homeroom or something. Hey, you like Faulty Towers? Oh, God, I love
And then
Faulty.
we played soccer together, and we both wanted the number 13.
And that could be a conflict with most people, but not you guys. You worked it out. And who got the number 13? You or Josh?
I did.
He must really like you.
What number did he get? Do you remember?
13.
13.
So they made an exception for you guys.
Well, it's great when one person's on varsity and the other's on junior varsity.
What's your relationship with Mastodon's guitarist Brent Hinds?
Who is that guy?
I am not sure, but I have heard he is a spectacular individual.
I've worshipped him my whole life.
I want to be him so bad that I stole his clothes earlier today. All right, moving right along.
Well, hold on. My relationship with Mastodon is Brent Hinds, because I want to say this. My very beginnings in rock and roll, which were spectacular, had some interesting developments. And on the 2007 MTV Video Music Awards, without going into great detail, Brent and I experienced something that bonded us quite tightly. And from this experience, I was able to see in the man himself that he is one of the finest individuals I've ever known, and a Southern man after my own heart. And from that point forward, I've loved the man very much, and I always wanted to do a tour with him. And when it came time for us to talk about touring with Mastodon and these two legs that we've done, for us as a band, this was our first tour after everything that happened to us in Paris. And it was the first tour after us having to do all the stuff that we had to do publicly in terms of Paris. This was our first tour of trying to be a regular rock and roll band. And it had to be with Mastodon, and it had to be under the fine care of our dear friends. And I can say in all sincerity that I don't think we ever could have made it without friends like these guys, you know? So I love them very much.
It helps to have friends in mediocre type, like medium places, you know? For those who don't know about it, you know, tell us a little bit about your documentary, Redemption of the Devil.
Some might call this a vainglorious, self-aggrandizing jack-off session. I would call it an awesome session of masturbating. Just kidding, no. It's a movie about me and a particular year in my life, and I had a film crew live with me for 2 years, literally up my ass for 2 years, because we're into butt stuff. And
Sounds good.
I think it's a hilarious piece of propaganda.
I've personally not seen it yet.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, I would love to.
It's kind of hilarious.
It's glorious.
I would. I love
It's glorious.
I love the name of it, Redemption of the Devil.
Because I don't think it's fulfilled its title yet, but we'll see.
But anyways, tell us a little
Never.
bit about yourself that is absolutely false on Wikipedia.
My dick is not like a baby's fist holding an apple. It is like a baby's fist holding an apple. swinging like this with throbbing veins and like really monstrous and frightening.
Tattooed baby hand.
Yeah, it'll say "fuck" it first, and then it says "fire truck."
Well, okay. Are sex, drugs, and rock and roll? Is it still a part of rock and roll, or are we now just handshakes, tofu, and yoga? I think there's a lot that
They can't see it off camera, but I'm just going to point to yes, it's still sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yes.
Just the virtual, like if you can imagine what I'm pointing at.
I'm going to confirm that.
Davey, can you confirm?
I can confirm.
I thought it was sax, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, I'm definitely
So
gonna.
I started playing. I like went for Kenny G and thought like that's what I was supposed to do. I fucked up on that one.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I have a saxophone player in West End Motel, and it's,
Which, by the way, is a fucking band that Boots Electric wants to tour with.
we're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be something of the past pretty soon. We're gonna make it happen.
Days of Future Past.
Yes.
It will remind us of the future.
I want to say, just off the record, that I do shake a lot of hands.
I do too.
I like shaking.
I don't glad hand everyone. I think that's what the more appropriate phrase is. Glad handing is like what a politician does. But I shake people's hands because that's what a man does.
Sincere about it.
Do you do the fist bump? Do
Occasionally.
you do the fist bump?
I don't like doing it, but sometimes if someone looks really dirty.
A lot of people offer the fist bump, and I take it. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, say, hey, I'm a handshaker.
Yeah.
I just go ahead and fist bump, get it over with.
It's kind of like a win in Rome.
Yeah, exactly. It is a win in Rome.
Oh, W-I-N.
Yeah.
Yeah, big win.
I've yet to fist bump in Rome, but win in Rome.
Dude, that could be the name of our mutual album, Fist Bump in Rome.
Yeah, when you're there, shake someone's hand, get to know somebody.
Fist Bump in Rome.
All right. And also, I just want to say, personally, I don't see too much tofu going on with you guys. Although I did catch Jorma eating a tofu sandwich the other day.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes, I am, and I did make fun of him. The yoga, I've not seen. I've seen little to no yoga on this tour.
Ginny, do you do yoga?
Ginny does calisthenics.
I do the bar method.
We like the barbell. It's extra hot.
Ginny,
Goes to the bar and
I-
method it.
It's hotter than.
Hotter than hot.
yeah, I mean,
It's hotter than hot.
I'm
It's
gonna
hotter
vouch,
than Bikram.
I'm gonna vouch for Ginny that she does calisthenics.
Jorms,
I-
we
I've
understand that
joined
you were
her.
eating a tofu sandwich?
with sprouts. And he said it was good, but I can understand him doing it just because
He wants to be cool, yeah.
Just trying to get in with those rock and roll types, the handshakers, the tofu eaters, the yoga doers. I do like just for the record, I like yogurt.
That's what I was gonna say. I like yogurt.
I do, and I like Yoda.
And I like the Greek yogurt with the honey.
Yoda's he speaks backwards like you will eat the
yogurt will be eat.
Do the yoga, you will. We're talking about Yoda's yoga right now, and that is something that could definitely make you a better
Dude,
person.
Yoda's yoga for little people. And like the dude who played Wicket
May
can
the
go.
Schwartz
And the
be
dude,
with you.
that new dude from what is it, Game of Thrones, he could go there.
That is Yoda's next door neighbor.
Yoda's yoga for little folks.
I love that guy. Tyrion Lannister is his name.
That is his name.
Yeah, his real name.
He's a cool dude, actually. I met him once.
He's a really small dude. All right. Well, what does the future look like for the Eagles? No, I don't think they're here really verbatim really saying about Eagles of death metal. It states here the Eagles. So
I think one of them's already gone.
Glenn
so-
Fry. Glenn Fry. It's very unfortunate and sudden and shocking that
Yeah.
he is not here with us anymore. But let's just go ahead and assume they're talking about your band. And what do you see the future
It looks
like?
like a color photo of George Clinton getting bent over and being butt fucked by Little Richard with Keith Richards as a dick, and the balls are Sly Stone and James Brown.
And what are they levitating in space, or
They're levitating in space, surrounded by beautiful titties.
And it's really a beautifully fantastic, bright photograph.
Really bright.
You have to wear shades to probably
The
look
future's so bright, you gotta wear shades, baby.
I don't personally, as a long time admirer and friend, I don't see anything slowing down anytime soon.
No, fuck no.
I only see longevity, and I just see a lot of it's like a steam engine. I just see a lot of built up
A steam engine
power.
that's been upgraded to a nuclear reactor, like at the end of Back to the Future 2, when he comes back and he's got the flying car. Like that's what we're like. We're like the car, and then now we got the flying parts, and it goes, you know.
So
and you
basically-
just got to throw banana peels in it and shit, and it works.
Like a lot, the future of Eagles of Death Metal has a lot to do with composting
Yeah, and saving the earth.
and just saving and going green.
And I think we're going to stop the
PMA.
world's dependence upon oil. That's
PMA.
really what we're going to do.
Because we can fuel the world with rock and roll. Or I know you could by yourself.
You know, I've started to claim oil is a dependent on my tax returns.
All right, that concludes our interview with Eagles of the Death Metal with Davey Ketching and Jesse Hughes.
Is now the part where I got to show my dick?
Yes, and we're ready for your penis now.
It's my
Turn the
big,
cameras
it's
off.
my big close-up. Here we go.